Howdy pards, MrHolster here. Welcome to another episode of Goin Hot. Today's going to be a little different, and the reason is, I was up really late last night, which I shouldn't be. That's a big no-no, and I'll show you at the end of this program why I was up all night. And it's a no-no because of the things I'm doing to try and stay healthy. It says right on the bottles, you got to get sleep or all these things are going to happen to you. If you don't get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, horrible things will happen to you. So as a result, that and combining what happened last week, I'm doing this for my show this week. So I have to apologize for it because we have no rutabagas involved. But next week, we'll be back up and running with a little twist, and I'm going to talk about that briefly right now, if MrHolster can talk about anything briefly. Last week, of course, if you watched my program last week, you know what happened to the one on New Year's Day. And thanks to Jack, we redid that program, and it turned out all right. And the reason we had problems with that program with the powers that be is kind of a complicated deal. And the problem I have is when I get the computer, the computer decides initially, and then they have a live human being review it. And the live human being that's been assigned to me is, well, let's just put it this way, a person that doesn't like my lifestyle or the color of my skin. That's what I think. But that has nothing to do with anything. So Jack says, well, the solution to this problem is going to be we have to keep the computer happy, and then it never ends up in that person's lap. And I said, yeah, how are you going to do that, Jack? And Jack says, don't worry. When I worked at the company, I was an analyst, and this is right down my alley. I'll figure it out. And he sat down and started going through our stuff and looking at the things that were not friendly and what the computer had decided. And he's figured out what the deal is. And he said to me, you can program a computer to recognize images. You can program a computer to recognize language. But one thing you can't program a computer to do, and that's have intelligence. And I said, well, you pretty much have to have that to start with to be able to program it. And Jack started laughing at me. Yeah, you got me there. But at any rate, he said that all they can do is program in words, and those words get flagged or get pointed. And enough points, and there you are, you're down the toilet. And the problem is the language you're using. I said, my language is clean, Jack. He says, no, I don't mean that. I mean, the language you're using, they only interpret those words as negative. Even though you use them in a positive manner. They don't understand that concept, and apparently the person reviewing it doesn't either. Or they have other prejudices that are causing them to say that, yeah. So at any rate, I don't know if they're unfriendly or not, but Jack says we can solve this, and all you have to do is change your vocabulary. He says, you're familiar with Bing Crosby? I said, oh, yeah, I know Bing Crosby, Jack, and I don't know what that has to do with this. And Jack says, well, he had a huge vocabulary. I suggest you go back and watch some Bing Crosby movies or maybe some TV shows he's on and listen to him talk, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. That's what we need to do. We need to change our vocabulary because he says, I'm pretty sure we can program this or use language that the computer will approve of, and then we'll be in compliance. And I said, well, that sounds great, Jack. I'd love to be able to do that, but how do we do that? And he says, well, what we do is we just make up a cheat sheet. I said, a cheat sheet. He said, yeah, I'll make you a cheat sheet, and all the words that are negative, that give you negative points, I'll give you another word you can use that they'll find positive, and that'll solve the problem. It's all a matter of semantics. And I said, well, don't bring her into this. I'm lucky I got out of that whole deal, and I didn't date for a long time after that. And he said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He said, I'll make you a cheat sheet, and you use that language. And I said, well, okay, Jack, I kind of follow you. And he said, well, let me give you an example. Instead of using the word shotgun, we'll use the word Fowler. And I said, well, okay, I see what you're talking about, Jack. I said, but I don't know what you're going to do for a lot of these things. He said, don't worry, I'll come up with something. And I said, well, I hope they understand what I'm talking about, Jack. And Jack says, don't worry about it. I'll make the cheat sheet up and I'll post it on the front page of Patreon, and your people can go over there and they can print out that cheat sheet so they know what you're talking about. I said, well, Jack, I don't know about that. And he says, don't worry. I doubt anybody's even going to use it. He says, you don't have the regular YouTubers as subs there, Mr. Holster. All our people are intelligent. They won't need the cheat sheet. And I said, well, you're probably right about that, Jack. So that's what we're going to do. And so I'm waiting for Jack to finalize his cheat sheet for me. And once we have that next week, we'll make the episode using his cheat sheet. And I think everybody will be happy. We won't be in violation of the rules anymore. And you'll get to see the Goin Hot each week just like it was. And, yeah, we'll kind of elevate the whole thing to a higher level. Yeah. Jack said that. I didn't. I got to admit. Jack, I tell you, people don't give Jack the credit he deserves. He's a smart guy. Yeah. So, at any rate, quick update there. The last thing I want to leave you with is Jack's packing his bag. He's getting ready to go to the SHOT Show. So, I hope you tune in for the coverage Jack will be giving us from SHOT Show. It's always interesting to hear what Jack sees and what he thinks about things. So that'll be coming up in the next couple of weeks. And, of course, next week we'll have a regular Goin Hot with the Rutabaga and a 357. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. I see, I don't know what the cheat sheet word is. But at any rate, that's what's going on. And I'll leave you with a little footage here at the end that explains why I've been up all night. And thanks for bearing with me. And thanks for not, running away from my channel and supporting me, because I found that when you get next to 10,000 subs, then they start looking at you. Before that, they just play with you. But when you get to 10,000 subs, apparently you're dead meat. Well, thanks to Jack, I think we can get through this. I think we can. And thanks to you guys. So I'll leave you with that footage. And again, thanks for tuning in to another Goin Hot. Hey everybody, first calf of 2019, Sammy. Hi there, Sammy. Aren't you a good looker? I love that face on that calf. No eye cancer for Sammy. Well, that ends another episode of Goin Hot. Thanks for tuning in this week. Till next time. For Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe.